My peeps, what's happening? On today's show, my country's national drink, the Caipirinha. I'm Bernardo, and this is Savage Kid. Before I get into the recipe and teach you how to make the drink, let's get into a little bit of the history and some of the ingredients in the Caipirinha. Let's start off with where the Caipirinha originated from. The Caipirinha originated from Brazil, if you didn't know. Originated from São Paulo, Brazil, more specifically. And it started off in the early 1900s in the farmlands of São Paulo. It first started off as being kind of more of a celebratory drink where they would have it at weddings, birthdays, and parties and such. It got so popular that bars started serving it, and now it's pretty much all over Brazil. Every bar in Brazil pretty much serves it. Any restaurant in Brazil pretty much serves it. And it's become the national drink. Most Brazilian restaurants internationally in the US especially serve it. And it's kind of been, kind of associated with Brazil and Brazilian food and culture. And what's awesome about the Caipirinha, it's a super easy drink with only 5 ingredients. The ingredients are cachaça, lime, sugar, ice, and then an optional water. So let's get into cachaça. What is cachaça? Cachaça is a Brazilian rum. It's made from sugar cane. The biggest difference between rum Caribbean rum or rum that most people know of is that Brazilian, or cachaça I should say, has less ingredients in it. So rum that typically people drink, like in rum and cokes and things like that, they have a lot more ingredients in that rum. Typically the ingredient being molasses, which gives it that amber look and that extra sweetness. Whereas cachaça is typically made more or distilled more like a sugar cane juice, and it doesn't have any molasses and typically doesn't have a whole lot of other ingredients besides sugar cane and water. So those are the biggest differences between rum and cachaça. The biggest difference I think when you taste it is that you can taste that rum is a lot thicker, if that makes sense, or richer I would say, and sweeter than cachaça. And cachaça is it's usually a little clearer, it's a little more light. Some people attribute it to whiskey and that kind of thing. Cachaça, just like whiskey and a lot of other spirits and liquors as well, has different qualities and different grades. But the awesome thing about cachaça is that you can use any kind of, but the awesome thing about caipirinhas is that you can use any type of cachaça you want. So the cheap cachaça works great. Caipirinhas, high grade cachaça you typically want to sip on, but you can also use for caipirinhas. So it doesn't really matter what you get, and most stores, especially in the US, at least carry one type of bottle of cachaça. Typically you'll find 3 brands are the majority or the big players in the US. If you're lucky, you'll find some other ones. But the top 3 that I typically see in most liquor stores are P2, which has like a little shrimp or a little lobster looking thing on it. 51, and then the other one is Le Bon, which is my favorite. Out of the 3, I would say, at least. And none of them are high end, especially if you go to a cachaça snob. They probably will say and talk lots of trash about all 3 of them. But they're easily to get, and all 3 of them work great for cachaça. If you're really lucky, I would try it. If you see all 3, I would go for the Le Blanc, just because it is a little bit cleaner for me. I think it's the better of the 3. It's a little more expensive, but not that much. And I definitely think it's worth the dollar. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go in and start with the recipe. To start off, all you need is a whiskey-like glass or a low-ball glass like the one I have here. And then you want to start off with your limes. You need a little bit less than half a lime. You want a good amount of lime for this, so don't be stingy with your lime. You want to go ahead and quarter your limes and then start slicing them up like you would for any other kind of drink. And then you throw it in the bottom. You want to then add some sugar to the bottom of your glass with your lime, and you want to start muddling it. Muddling is when you take a blunt object or instrument and you muddle fruit or some sort of ingredient at the bottom of a glass. Right here I'm just using a little Chinese roller that I have that I use. I've seen people use spoons. They don't work so great, but you can use spoons, or if you have a muddler, even better. So you just muddle it down. This is great because the sugar will actually act like a little sand and kind of bring out the flavors of the lime while also dissolving the sugar with the juices. Once you got it nice and muddled, you want to go ahead and add your cachaça. Typically for a drink, I like to put a shot and a half. That's how I do it for most drinks. I think this works great in this style drink, in this cachaça, in this caipirinha, I should say. So then, yes, a shot and a half. And then you just give it a little stir, and here's the option. Some people like the caipirinha stronger with a good cachaça, strong cachaça flavor, whereas others don't like it so strong. I like it kind of in the between, so I like the splash method. So I'll just splash a little bit of water in at the end, and I do that. Me primarily, I do that just to kind of get the flavors and all the good stuff going, and mingling, and get all the flavors mingling and get the drink just great. And then you have it, my friends. The caipirinha. You can go home, tell your friends, you know all about the caipirinha. You know where it came from. You know where it's going. You know where it's been. And more importantly, you know it's good. Let me know what you think. You got any tips? How do you make your caipirinha? Do you know how to make a caipirinha? Have you ever heard of the caipirinha? What's the vodka drink that's like the caipirinha, but they call something else, even though where I come from, we just call it caipirinha with that other thing. Anyway. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, you know what to do. Until the next one, my friends. Ciao, ciao.